Emotional dependency, it can be a real trap. I mean, if your happiness depends entirely on another person, you've basically just given them your power. And this brings us to the whole concept of detachment. The goal is to become so complete within yourself that you don't need anyone. People become a resource you choose to have, not a requirement for your well-being. The world runs on an exchange of value. So the goal is to shift your whole mindset from seeking validation to providing value. Be the solution, not the problem.
So, internal mastery is the foundation, right? But it's pretty useless without the ability to actually execute your will in the real world. So let's move on to pillar 2 and see how this all builds. This is where we forge the weapons, the skills, the physical prowess to actually make things happen. We're often told that just working hard is enough. But in the White Room, just memorizing things is, well, it's inefficient. Geniuses don't just store data, they decode it. They use what we'll call the mental sandbox. If you're studying history, don't just memorize dates. Run the war in your mind. Feel the strategy, the tension. Turn information into a visceral experience. You might forget a dry fact, but you'll remember the feeling of that mental battle. And that leads to the second point here. Don't just ask what's the answer. Ask why was this question even created? You gotta argue with what you read. Challenging information makes it stick.
Modern gym culture can be pretty deceiving. Big muscles don't always equal functional strength. A bodybuilder, he's a showpiece. But what about adaptability? The White Room philosophy is totally different. It doesn't just train muscle, it trains the nervous system. Your real power is in your brain's signals. It's not about size, it's about density and control. Next time you're working out and you feel exhausted, try to trick your brain. Visualize a high-stakes scenario. That's how you can tap into hidden strength and just break through your limits. Don't just aim to look big, aim to be dangerous. You know, the world often tells you to specialize, become a doctor, an engineer, but that can be its own kind of trap. A true master should have a broad range of capabilities. This is the whole concept of the polymath. You might not become the top 1% pianist in the world, but hey, if you're a top 25% pianist and a top 25% coder, you're suddenly rare. This is called skill stacking. The goal is to become a T-shaped person, broad knowledge across many fields with deep mastery in one. Every 6 months, pick up a new skill that's completely unrelated to your main field. Confuse the opposition with your range. All right, you've got the mind and you've got the skills. Now it's time to apply them. This final active pillar is all about navigating the human world, not as some piece on the board, but as the player who's moving the pieces.